Hey everyone, welcome back to Bleach Brave Souls, and once again guys, I would like to talk about the 3rd anniversary of the game, and specifically Manga Round 4. As you know by now, Manga Round 4 will be dropping in maybe 4 days time, 4 days from the recording of this video, and I just want to go over what my predictions are specifically, what are Bleach Cowboys predictions, and my thoughts for the game, the future of the game in general. So like what's going to happen, what else is going to happen in the 3rd anniversary. Now, if you guys didn't know, or if you're newer to the channel and newer to the game, last year, K-Lab decided to do a batch of 14 manga characters. And 14 was the hard limit. They weren't going to release more than that. But it's entirely possible, guys, that they may go for more. I have nothing to base that on, but I know that the manga characters for Bleach Brave Souls were very successful. Bleach Brave Souls had been one of the most downloaded games when those characters were released, during Manga Round 1, 2, 3. And, maybe there's a possibility that they will be able to negotiate with Shueisha the rights to do more characters. Bleach lately in Japan has been heavily promoted. It's getting a live action movie. I've seen a few of James Hansen's tweets where he's showing, Bleach posters all over, Shibuya Station, or I think Shibuya, I'm not sure the proper name for it because I'm not too familiar with the area, but Bleach is getting heavily promoted. There's billboards for it. The movie, like I said, Kubo's actually doing some work again. He had that one shot called Burn the Witch. The Ichigo, Aizen, and Rukia are in the new Shonen Jump Force video game, which is a AAA title. Among other things, guys, there's other Bleach stuff going on. There's also a huge art book that Kubo is drawing. It's gonna be like 500 pages. I forget the name of it. I think it's called Bleach Jet. It's only gonna be available in Japan initially. So the Bleach hype is real right now, and that's kind of crazy considering this series has been over for a year plus now. So who knows if K-Lab will release another batch of manga characters after the first 14. Now, why do I bring that up? Because whether or not they do more manga characters will determine what is in round 4. And I'm going to go off the assumption that they're not going to do another batch. So if that's the case, guys, my predictions are going to be heavily influenced by that. So let's just get right into it. I'll tell you what they are. I'll try to explain why I think this, and we'll just go from there. So if this is, in fact, the final batch of manga characters ever in the game, then I gotta go with a banner themed around the final battle against Uwatch. And who was in the final battle against Uwatch? Ichigo, obviously. We had Uwatch himself. Aizen was in there doing some damage. And Uwatch is the main antagonist. So, guys, I'm gonna put this down on paper as my final predictions for Manga Round 4. It's gonna be the final Bankai version of Ichigo. It's gonna be Uryu as well, because Uryu, he was pretty important in this arc, even though he didn't actually have that much screen time. He was still pretty pivotal. He was a very important character. He struck the blow that allowed Ichigo to defeat Uwatch, so I think Uryu's got to be in there. I mean, in an arc about Quincy's, you got to have Uryu at least at some point in this manga Bleach Brave Souls banner thing. And Aizen. Ichigo would not have been able to defeat Uwatch without Aizen's aid. There is no question about that. He bought him the opening. He kind of confused Uwatch's future sense enough to allow them that small window to, put an end to him. And the most controversial of my picks is definitely Uwatch. This is a character that has never seen any kind of animation before, and there's still a lot of questions as to whether, the voice acting, that's the question number one. If he were to be put into the game, who would do his voice? Now, there's several possibilities of how they could get around this, guys. They could just do something where, he doesn't say anything. It's not likely, but it is a possibility. There is also the possibility that they could use the voice actor for Zangetsu, Old Man Zangetsu, in Ichigo's Inner World. Because technically it's the same person. It's a manifestation of Uwatch in Ichigo's inner world. So a lot of people have said that is a possibility, and who knows, maybe it is. And the most outside possibility is that Shueisha has already cast voice actors for a continuation of the anime. Now, I know people are gonna freak out saying, Cowboy, you're freaking crazy. There's no confirmation. There's nothing to base that off of. Well, there is stuff to base that off of. Just look at the hype that's going on around Bleach. Obviously, it's gonna culminate in something, and I think it goes beyond the movie that's being released. There's, like I mentioned earlier, all the promotional stuff, Kubo working again. There's just a lot of hype around Bleach, and it wouldn't be there for no reason. So I strongly believe that the anime will be making a return at some point, just based on everything that's going on, like I mentioned. And who knows? There may be already initial voice actor casting with Shueisha, and maybe they haven't made the episodes yet, but maybe they already have cast the voices. So who knows about that? So there is a possibility that we could get a You Watch. There's also a possibility we could get Sternritters. I mean, that's a very outside possibility. Maybe not for this round, but if K-Lab decides to pursue more manga characters with Shueisha, they could potentially have more Quincy's in the game. And I know there's a lot of obstacles to that. Like I said, voice acting being the #1 concern. But if they go on with the anime, guys, that is a lot for Bleach Brave Souls. And honestly, if they went on with the anime, I might even forget about Bleach Brave Souls and just start watching the anime. I'm not gonna lie, because that would just overshadow Brave Souls by such a huge amount that wow, it would be a whole new world for Bleach. What if Kubo creates a sequel? He's dropped a lot of hints about Bleach in his one-shot. There's panels where Bleach references are made. I don't want to get into Burn the Witch that much because it's a topic for an entirely other video. But Bleach is on the move, guys, and those are my predictions for the final manga round 4 banner. So once again, final Bankai Ichigo, Uryu, Aizen, and You Watch. And I think the theme will be the final battle, or the last stand, or something like that. The same thing they did with the decisive battle and climactic battle with the other characters that were in that. So I think that will be what it goes down as, guys. Now, people are saying, what about Kisuke? What about Yoruichi? What about Mayuri? What about Yamamoto? Guys, those characters are great, and I love those characters too. Do not get me wrong when I say that. I am a huge fan of all those characters. But as far as from a marketing point of view, you always release the most hype thing last. So since they already released Ichigo and Rukia and Renji, the next banner after that, it has to be something that can top that banner. And the only way to top that banner is with what I predicted. And Kisuke, Yoruichi, as great characters as they may be, they are not more hype than the main characters of the story. Maybe to the true fans of Bleach, that they are, but to the general audience, those are not the most hype characters. Ichigo, Rukia, and Renji are probably the most hype characters. They're the face of the franchise and all of that. So whatever comes out after them has to be more hype. So I hope I explained that correctly, but initially I thought that the Ichigo, Renji, and Rukia banner would be round 4. That should be, round 3 should have been round 4. But, they did that for a reason, guys, and I think it's because round 4 is going to be even more amazing. And hopefully it is. What powers could they give to final Bankai Ichigo? I don't know, man. Obviously it's going to be some kind of Getsuga Tensho. Or maybe he goes, you do his special and his sword breaks and he dies or something. I don't know, man. You guys meme it up with final Bankai Ichigo. We all know what happened to him. He was up against a villain that was kind of broken. So we can't hate on Ichigo for getting his ass handed to him. I thought Orihime might be in there because she was also involved somewhat in the final battle, and she hasn't had a canon version in quite a long time. But I'm gonna discount her just because she's not as hype as the other ones that I mentioned. Yamamoto, Bankai Yamamoto, it would be great, but he's already had 2 very, very strong versions just come out recently. And I think they did that to appease Yamamoto fans, since they're not gonna do a manga Yamamoto. That's not to say it couldn't happen ever, guys. I mean, if K-Lab gets the permission to do more manga characters after the initial 14, anything could happen. But for now, I think Yamamoto's off the table because we got the green Yamamoto and we got the tag team Yamamoto, both of which are freaking top tier characters. And Mayuri just got a revamp recently with Kaname and who was the other one? I forget who's in that banner. And that Mayuri is still kind of good, but as much as Mayuri needs a manga version, I don't think he could beat out these other characters for that position, you know. So maybe sometime in the future for him as well. Yoruichi, you know, the only reason she could make it in, maybe because of fan service. It doesn't make sense to release her in the final banner. You know, if they were gonna release a Yoruichi, she would have been in round 2 or round 3. I guess Kisuke could be a possibility. He's very popular, but they released that movie Kisuke and that Frenzy Kisuke. So, yeah, he could squeeze in there. I mean, maybe they could replace Watch with Kisuke. He's an outside possibility. Out of everybody else, I think he has the highest chance of getting in. If my initial predictions are off, they might go with a Kisuke. So, we'll have to see, guys. But like I said, my official predictions are Final Bankai Ichigo, Uryu, Aizen, and Watch. And Aizen's already actually in the Jump Force game, so I think he's a dead lock. Like, he's 100%. And, you know, Ichigo being the main character of the story, I think he's also a pretty high possibility. I know we just had him in round 3, but, you know, he's the main character of the story. None of the rules apply to Ichigo. Quincy's in the future. What do I think about that? Only if the anime returns, I guess. Could we get, like, the rest of the Quincy's. And like I said, that might already be in the works with Shonen Jump or Shueisha, Period. Sorry, excuse me. It might already be in the works, so who knows? That's pure speculation. Don't say like Bleach Cowboy confirmed the anime returns. I did not, guys. All right, but I think it's a very high possibility. Let's go 90% on it. All right. So, was there anything else? I don't think so. I know it was kind of a rambling on video, but I just wanted to get my final thoughts out there before the banner drops and all the Bleach hype explodes with the movie releasing on the 20th, and then the Bankai live stream, I think it's on the 21st or the 23rd. It's Indian Game News, guys. Check it out. You can confirm the time and date there. But yeah, whew, that was a lot to get through. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what your predictions are. Let me know what you think of mine, and you know, feel free to disagree. Just don't be dicks in the comments about it. I don't want to make any guarantees or make any bets, but I'm pretty sure this will go down like this. You know, I could be wrong, and you know, they could release, you know, Kisuke, Yoruichi, and Mayuri, but I don't think it would be as hype. All right, thanks for listening, guys. I really appreciate it. Check out my second channel. It's linked in the description. I'll be doing some content on there throughout the Bankai live stream and 3rd anniversary. So you're gonna want to stay tuned there if you like that sort of thing. All right, bye bye everyone. See you next time.